Okay, so just looking at LinkedIn today is a big indicator of how bad of a place the economy is in. So when you type in or you just start, you click on the search thing here, the first thing they offer for you to look for is rescinded offers. And now this means people who had a job offer that they were about to start, and then the company called them and said, "Never mind, we're not hiring you." And if you think about what that would be like, this is somebody that quit their job most likely. Like they had a job that was paying them. They thought they had an offer for another job. They resigned from their current job. Then they were told that they're not going to start, and they are not making any money at all. So this is a this is a good indicator of where the economy really is at this point in time, um, and it's bad and it's turning ugly, and people are just starting to realize it. And I think a lot of people were in la la land, uh, not realizing how dire straits we're in. I mean, a lot of people aren't paying attention to the macro scene, including people who are hiring. They just see their budget. They know what happened last quarter. Um, they have a certain amount of business at the moment, and then they just realize when somebody else tells them what the forecast is that they're screwed, and then all of a sudden the panic just cascades. So this woman had a pretty good post. I might try to read through it here in a second, uh, but I've got my son here in the background, so um, if he starts getting antsy, I'll just forgo it. But if you go through here, you see where most of the carnage is, and it's in tech. So, like this example, this guy is saying Coinbase, Twitter, Tesla, Netflix, Robinhood. I mean, I guess there's a lot of Coinbase stuff in here, and the crypto crash, people aren't using it as much. That's kind of to be expected, but it's across the board in tech, and in Tesla's tech, right? So they're doing a lot of AI, a lot of automation. They're only unique in the U.S. in that they create hardware as well. Um, Other companies have just sent all that offshore, but that's definitely tech. And of course, Amazon's still hiring because they're the only thing left in the supply chain. So there's that. I hear it's wonderful in their distribution centers. But I mean, it's just an indicator of where we are, and it's not just isolated to tech. Like right now, it may seem that way, but really, after a lot of industry had left the U.S. has become something of a service economy. And if you think of things that we create, the only things we've really created recently has been sort of oil and gas production and technology and really just software. So oil and gas has kind of been axed, right? Like the current administration is not very friendly to that, and they've shut down pipelines, they've denied leases. Um, I mean, operators like Chevron and Shell and Exxon or whatever are doing fine because they have their oil fields and oil is expensive right now. But for people who rely on doing new development stuff, it's a bad industry. And then we have also, then you have tech. That's what's left, and tech is just gone. If that goes, I mean, where do you think everything else goes? The dollar's going, tech's going, energy's going. I really do feel sorry for anybody who's in this scenario because that's a tough spot to be in. Um, I'll just sort of read how this lady lays it out because she's a recruiter and she cares about this sort of thing. So she says, rescinding offers is a common theme this past week, and a lot of candidates looking for work because they resigned and then their offer fell through. And then she's like, can we acknowledge that this is a serious thing? It's not normal. It's not even really acceptable. And it's a pretty big deal. And then she says you should be able to basically sue over this, which I agree. Because let's take her scenario where she says a candidate is recruited out of a top-notch company, so they're not trying to leave. Somebody recruited them, um, found them on LinkedIn, said, hey, like, we have a job. Would you like to try it? They've been working at this company for years. They have a great resume. They've deliberately thought out every move they've made in their career, and then they got poached, and then they resign at their current job, and they say goodbye to all their colleagues and friends. They get ready to start what they think is their new dream job, and then days before they're supposed to start, they get a call from their presumably new employer, and they say the budget's dried up. or we're worried about bringing on new employees due to overhiring. And now this candidate's left with what used to be a great resume. Now it's kind of weird. The market's shaky, she says, to say the least, and it's going to be harder for them to negotiate because now they're unemployed. They can't. They don't really have a whole lot of leverage. But I mean, that's from her recruiter perspective. Just think about a person like you have a family, like you have bills to pay. Like we don't all have like huge savings or whatever to lean to fall back on. So this could just leave people in an absolutely catastrophic scenario. And I read some of the sort of responses to this, and this is what a lot of people are saying. So this is a this is a sign. This is an indicator of where the job market is and where the economy is overall. So prepare, guys. Put as much money away as you can, as you think is sensible to pay the bills you have to pay. Um, you know, try to, if it makes sense to buy assets that aren't going to be killed by inflation, do that. I can tell you, I buy gold and silver and ammo and food. So just think about that because we're all in a precarious position. All of us are. And this is just a sign that I wanted to bring to people's attention. And then, by the way, follow me please on locals because YouTube has been sort of knocking out the distribution of my videos and flagging me because of some of the topics I talk about. But I only do this because I think there's some information that seems relevant to me that deserves more attention, and I want to try to share that and spread it as much as possible. So I'm not going to charge anything on locals right now because this is just a hobby and something I think I should be doing. But maybe someday I will if when I get found out for having opinions and get axed from corporate town. But follow me there. If I ever have to charge, you follow me early. I'll grandfather you in. But appreciate it. Share, like, and comment.